Tryna take control, I'ma snatch your pad. Life in the game, don't try to own my own pad. A-Max but still, it be telling me mad. Thinking how things still getting worse when they're already bad. It's not me, really gone to the plan. Funny got a stretch car, I need them bands. Brothers gotta eat, wanna feed the fam. Got me trying to see more green than damn. One of my G said he'll move a box in 1 week. Another said he's been moving boxes all week. Cheese. Can't knock the hustle. Cause they're both getting cheese. And they're both using muscle. But only one's on the street. One man legit for his son. The other's trying to shine like one. Swipe spit it's like a 9. So neither of them die by one. Trying to get us out of the struggle. Watch, it's a matter of time. Say you wanna burst my bubble. I say as long as I blow, then it's fine. Flow for my fam, cause they say blood's thicker than water. Flow for the gang, cause they waited round for my order. When it's my time to eat, every man grab a plate. Ain't gotta run these streets, ain't gotta watch your weight. Die for my family, only the real relate. Ride on my enemies, only them fakers hate God.
They ain't built like that, they ain't built like that. They ain't built like that, they ain't built like that. They ain't built like that, they ain't built like that. They ain't built like that, they ain't built like that.
Can't use always if I want something new. Stay fresh. Me and my brothers weren't playing chess, they was making moves. We was on there from fraud to the food. Just splash and taking them trips, post copping new shoes. Quick fixes as to ride with a tool. Young reckless, didn't follow no rules. Swear took risks to shine like jewels. Couple times was hot, had to play it cool. Back then the ones who made me hadn't separated. So won't stop till the one who stayed is over celebrated, rated. For working 10 plus, no promo. Her show it still runs, no co-host. And that's when the fam deserted her, still she didn't crumble. Cave it's a no-no. She got more heart than care, for they left of her dead, had her chopped up the photo. So I wanna make her live a dream, anything she want that costs green is a go-go. Every day is a hustle, with my 9 pence strapped back, car money's on my mind. Reminds me of a Russell, rather be deaf to all jams that everybody didn't grind. Flow for the fam, cause they say blood's thicker than water. Flow for my gang, cause they waited round for my order. When it's my time to eat, every man grab a plate. Ain't gotta run these streets, ain't gotta watch your weight. Die for my family, only the real relate. Ride on my enemies, only them fakers hate God.
They ain't built like that, they ain't built like that. They ain't built like that, they ain't built like that. They ain't built like that, they ain't built like that. They ain't built like that, they ain't built like that.
Tryna take control, I'ma snatch your pad. Life in the game, don't try to own my own pad. A-Max but still, it be telling me mad. Thinking how things still getting worse when they're already bad. It's not me, really going to the plan.
Between 5 and a 6 hour trip.
What does it matter? At that point, it's nighttime.
It's like close to 15%.
Why don't you just be a man and take Friday off?
I'm taking Friday off.
Let's not gender this.
That's true. You shouldn't gender this. You shouldn't gender assign.
Gender related.
You
No.
know that we are live, so.
But it's not that bad.
Mark.
If you, I mean, with an hour at night is no difference because you're just sleeping and chilling.
It's easy for someone like you to say.
Yeah.
What's that supposed to mean?
You just don't know.
Tryna take control, I'ma snatch your pad. Life in the game, don't try to own my own pad. A-Max but still, it be telling me mad. Thinking how things still getting worse when they're already bad. It's not me, really gone to the plan. Funny got a stretch car, I need them bands. Brothers gotta eat, wanna feed the fam. Got me trying to see more green than damn. One of my G said he'll move a box in 1 week. Another said he's been moving boxes all week. Cheese. Can't knock the hustle, cause they're both getting cheese. And they both use a muscle, but only one's on the street. One man legit for his son, the other's trying to shine like one. Swipe spit 8 like a 9, so neither of them die by one. Trying to get us out of the struggle, watch it's a matter of time. Say you wanna burst my bubble, I say as long as I blow then it's fine. Flow for my fam cause they say blood's thicker than water. Flow for the gang cause they waited round for my order. When it's my time to eat, every man grab a plate. Ain't gotta run these streets, ain't gotta watch your weight. Die for my family, only the real relate. Ride on my enemies, only them fakers hate God.
They ain't built like that. 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 They ain't built like that.
Can't use always if I want something new.
What?
Me and my brothers weren't playing chess, they was making moves. We was on there from fraud to the food. Just a splash and taking them trips, post copping new shoes. Quick fixes, had to ride with a tool. Young reckless, didn't follow no rules. Swear took risks to shine like jewels. Couple times was hot, had to play it cool. Back then the ones who made me hadn't separated. So won't stop till the one who stayed is over celebrated, rated. For working 10 plus, no promo. Her show it still runs, no co-host. And that's when the fam deserted her, still she didn't crumble. Cave is a no-no. She got more heart than care for they left of her dead, had her chopped up the photo. So I wanna make her live a dream, anything she want that costs green is a go-go. Every day is a hustle, with my 9 pence strapped back, car money's on my mind. Reminds me of a Russell, rather be deaf to all jams that their brother didn't grind. Flow for the fam, cause they say blast thicker than water. Flow for my gang cause they waited round for my order. When it's my time to eat, every man grab a plate. Ain't gotta run these streets, ain't gotta watch your weight. Die for my family, only the real relate. Ride on my enemies, only them fakers hate God.
They ain't built like that. 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 They ain't built like that.
Tryna take control, I'ma snatch your pad. Life in the game, don't try to own my own pad. A-Max but still, it be telling me mad. Thinking how things still getting worse when they're already bad. Bitch, nah, I ain't really gone to the plan. Funny, got a stretch car, I need them bands. Brothers gotta eat, wanna feed the fam. Got me tryna see more green than damn. One of my G's said he'll move a box in 1 week. Another said he's been moving boxes all week. Cheese, can't knock the hustle. Cause they both getting cheese, and they both using muscle, but only one's on the street. One man legit for his son, the other's trying to shine like one. Swipe spit 8 like a 9, so neither of them die by one. Trying to get us out of the struggle, watch it's a matter of time. Say you wanna burst my bubble, I say as long as I blow then it's fine. Flow for my fam cause they say blood's thicker than water. Flow for the gang cause they waited round for my order. When it's my time to eat, every man grab a plate. Ain't gotta run these streets, ain't gotta watch your weight. Die for my family, only the real relate. Ride on my enemies, only them fakers hate God.
They ain't built like that. They ain't built like that. They ain't built like that. They ain't built.
Charge! You guys know that. You guys go to the races, right? You're a gambler, Pat.
I'm a big time gambler.
Okay, we're not going to you yet. We got Caitlin Carr in the house. This is STFU. What is going on, guys? We made it to another show.
I made it to another show.
You did.
This is my second one now.
Yeah.
I just gotta. Neither time Aaron's been here. I think that's the key. I gotta wait for his travel plans to go. I step right in.
I'm gonna make Pat. We're not going to you yet. I'm gonna make this thing, Pat. Just hold on, okay? We'll intro you in a second. This is not about you. Just stop it. Do not cut the camera. Stop. Do not cut the camera over to him. He is not on the show yet. I have not officially welcomed him onto the show yet.
I'm gonna get a coffee quick, so you do that.
All right. You're welcome anytime here.
Thank you.
Because you're great at everything. Aaron is good at a lot of things, great at a few things.
No, he's great too, man.
Don't do that.
I waited a second.
Don't do that. I like that. That's a good hesitation. You know, dead air live is a long time.
Yeah.
Like sometimes Pat will say something and then this whole place will go silent for about 6 to 7 seconds while we take it all in because it's super awkward. That is like a year in live conversions, like dogs.
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah, that's why we wait to bring him on for a little bit.
All right, let's bring Pat on. Here he is. Pat, welcome.
What up? What up? I want to welcome Kaylin first of all. It's great to have you. But also, I think we should break down the roster we have tonight, which is definitely a little different. Maddie Flowers, Vibes for Flores, is not here.
Those
So
are
you know
very.
who's in charge.
That point you did was very dictator-ish to Kaylin. That strong hand
sorry.
of like.
Did you feel that way, Kaylin?
Put the hand out again like you did it.
I did this.
That
Yeah,
is
that's right.
very.
Also, I'm just noticing my different angle in my camera view, and it's crazy.
Do you like it or no?
I don't dislike it. I mean, this goes back to the original thing that Vibes for Flores has gotten. He took all the lenses, so I got to be different. It's a little up close and personal. I like to be farther away from the commies.
You look good, man. You look good.
He does. He does. As a heads up, Aaron is out today. He's in Paris with Vibes for Flores. They're doing some stuff which we're going to talk about in a little bit, but we've got Kaylin in. For the record, he is not Aaron's replacement. He is welcome and invited every single week. He just decided to show up this time. Just by chance, it lined up that he wasn't here. So
Yeah, we're going to play men's league a little later,
Yep.
so you know this is like a warm up.
Nice.
A get to know your teammate session.
Mm-hmm.
We bond off the field, and then on the field we see how.
when we leave that session later with that big W,
Yeah.
people are going to be like, "There's something there
They got
between
a
them."
thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Pat, this is not your part of the
I'm just
show.
saying, I love
Okay.
Mr. Comment.
What's going on with the commies
voice of
today?
the commies. A lot of people talk about Kaylin Carr as Mr. Helmet because of the headgear that you used to wear. Not
That's
for
cool.
any other reason.
Are you cool with Mr. Helmet?
I am. I have been. I was just traveling, by the way.
Sick.
The only one-
Hey, we gotta get that travels. Can we get a round of applause for traveling?
That's sick.
Aaron's
All
the
right.
only one. I didn't go to Paris. I connected through Amsterdam though.
Sick.
Got a little bit of a vibe.
Schiphol Airport.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Really nice.
They got really
house.
good lounge chairs there too.
Oh,
And that okay. Either way, listen. We don't have to like all the same things when we go through an airport, so that's cool.
But yeah, I went to Kenya for 2 weeks, and it was really just on vacation, just hanging out. And I was wearing a Brazil shirt, and everybody was calling me Coutinho.
Okay.
So I prefer broke Coutinho is what I prefer to be called.
What about Brotinho?
Brotinho.
Yeah.
I like that.
You got the hat. You got the hat backwards today.
Yeah. I need to clean up the sides a little bit on the.
I could see
fade.
Coutinho a lot, actually.
Yeah, gotta go
Yeah.
clean.
Have you gotten that before you got to
Actually,
Kenya?
at the Copa 90 office in London,
Okay. Sick.
Vuj called me that.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
never
can see
really thought
that.
of it before, but it's definitely
Yeah.
it's a good look.
Thank
Good
you.
look.
Yeah. I feel like it's solid.
Yeah.
He's a little shorter than me, but and richer.
Do you think he's richer? Define rich. Pat, are you going to stand against the wall today? Or are you going to get involved with the show? It feels like you're a little bit going back into your old self, where
I'm
you're
kind of
just.
self-conscious about my angle here. Like I feel like it's like looking down at me, so it's kind of scary. But it's fine. It's all good.
It is a funny angle. Your eyebrows look different.
I'm brighter, and like I just got this gnarly haircut, like as in bad.
I'd say the upside, regardless of the angle, is that you did find a way to fix your hair, because there was something wrong for a bit.
Well, it was too long. That's what it was.
I don't think so, dude. I think they used like thinning shears or something, and then you had that little thing over your hair, like was hanging over your forehead all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I just feel like you're not 11.
Something was definitely off.
This guy knows hair. Come on. I
I
feel like you could be like I would if I walked into a salon, I would trust you. I would actually ask for you.
Yeah. When's he
This man-
available?
yeah, he's like. I would assume you were like painting or doing something
Yeah.
in between shifts.
Yeah. But you would trust me.
Oh yeah.
Like,
You kidding?
yeah, very,
So
very.
you pop it up. You put a little chopstick through that bun.
Chopstick. That's the thing I haven't done is chopsticks. I should do the chopsticks, huh?
How about that?
Do you think that's appropriation?
I don't know.
This is for pens.
Okay, pens.
Live studio audience.
Oh yeah. By the way,
I'm
we've had 25 of these shows. We actually haven't even started the show yet, which is a new record to go this long without actually starting the show. But I mean, we're live, but the actual like run of show hasn't
I'm
started.
surprised you guys still had a show.
Oh, come on, man. This is the best show on the internet. But it turns out a couple weeks ago that we had a sold out audience here. We had over 2 people on the couch. we had a full house in here. People were laughing crazy. We took a few questions from our live studio audience. All of this, like,
That's cool.
It was what we dreamed of it as being someday. It's like, if we could sell this place out, it would validate everything we're doing, and we literally sold this place out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hard to come down from that is the hard part.
It is. Today it's an empty house. It's a closed session. It's like when all the bad stuff happened in Serie A and they were just playing literally full seasons in empty stadiums as a result. Probably a little bit of that. We've had a few no-nos on our show. We have been sanctioned internally.
Yeah. I didn't know there were no-nos. There were no-nos at Copa? I thought
no!
Straight up.
No, we have ethics. We have ethics. We're a very welcoming and accepting place, but we do have ethics. And sometimes and occasionally when you're live, you cross that line.
I mess up. I say the wrong thing.
Okay.
I offend people that I'm not supposed to offend.
Yeah, that's what
Is it working, guys?
yeah. Oh, it's been working.
I just feel like, is it working? We good?
Yeah.
You
want to start the show?
Do you want to start the show?
Yeah,
All right,
start
cool.
talking about USA.
All right, let's talk about USA versus Mexico. Miazga versus Lainez, Tyler Adams goals, Aldivar red card. There was so much action towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
Did you, for you, having obviously seen years and years of the US-Mexico's, did you feel like that this had a little bit different element because it was young players and it was just no stakes and kind of a testing ground?
Yeah, it felt like a U23 match, which for the most part it was.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of a state of maybe what things are to come, and you could see quite a difference in style that you do see projected forward with the full teams that we've gotten used to, and a little bit of the bad blood. So I was up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do the comments think about the US-Mexico game? Have they said anything yet?
We see nice game from USA, says Jasmine. What else was said?
Sick.
It's right now the comments are really helping out with audio.
Okay, yeah, they're doing.
Audio people.
Yeah,
we're all in this together.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. They're all technical people in there, right?
Flores is in the comments.
Of course he is.
It was great in goal last night.
Guy is literally in Paris right now and can't get enough.
Lainez is a stud. He was good. Lainez.
Yeah, he did a few people dirty.
Lainez is a baller. That seems
It was weird to me last night though because
Sean Millwall had a good
there wasn't one or two of those touch points of players to those previous like heated matchups, which I've always seen in those games where like somebody's able to be like, no, we don't like playing Mexico. And same with Mexico, you have Rafa Marquez in the locker room going like,
Right.
we respect them, they're US, we're Mexico, we are like, you know, there's imaginary border between us, we all love each other in theory, but like this rivalry, like we do not like each other on the field. And it didn't feel like it had that from the start. It didn't feel like what you have in the big derbies, Glasgow, like these types of things where it's like somebody hits that tackle right away and you go, okay, this is the game I know.
Right. Well, that's the way it's usually gone. You know, it's where you have these younger guys who come into the big match, and you're like, everyone else already has that level from the base, and then you kind of hop in. I saw Tyler Adams afterwards said that the coaching staff showed them like a video package of all the bad blood between the two teams.
That's actually cool. I didn't know that. That's a good way to wind people up. But unless you have somebody who's lived it firsthand, going like, kick them or they will kick you type of thing, it's tough to replicate.
That's a part of this though, is you're used to seeing the bigger figures like Clint or some of these guys, Rafa, getting into it, and since you already have that context or know those guys, it matters more, whereas Lainez and Miazga you don't really know, but that's where you have to start somewhere. So I bet next time they play, Miazga is going to hear about it from the Mexican fans for sure.
What else going on? They still doing a lot of technical work in the comments?
No, they're back talking to the game. I mean, we had Alonso Diaz say, Miazga is a terrible person. Talks trash and then backs off as soon as someone gets in his face. That's a bit harsh, but I mean, it's a comment, for sure.
I was in a meeting today, and my brain told me, while you're in this meeting, you should go on Twitter. And not the most respectful thing for me to do, but my brain told me to do it, so I did it. It was more of a subconscious thing. And I went on there, and I saw all of this backlash of the Miazga thing.
Yeah.
Like,
what'd you think?
In real time, I was like, oh, it's kind of funny, I get it. And then I started to understand. Then it became this very, very, like, Mexico-U.S., like, political, racist, like the things that I was reading, which is just like, U.S. doesn't know football to assume that a small guy can't play, and like, white America, like, things. And I was like, whoa! I did not expect to go onto Twitter and find this to be like I mean, I should expect in general, regardless of what happens. It was a little bit, in my opinion, it was a little bit, if it was against somebody else, I'd be like, that's kind of tasteless. But in a rivalry, like, these are the moments that spark the rivalries, right? Rafa Marquez did plenty of bad stuff in these rivalries. The biggest players on both sides have done plenty of bad stuff in these rivalries. From being sent off. I played in one where Rafa was sent off for kicking Tim Howard. Like, there was a lot of bad blood there. Obviously, looking back at it in retrospect, you're like, okay, it's kind of disrespectful, but you're also just like, this is going to build into something now.
Yeah, I played with Blanco. He has said the worst things imaginable to people.
Yeah.
I mean, there are no lines that he wouldn't go past. But yeah, I didn't think much of that either, to be honest. It was just kind of like
these photos of the incident.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there they are.
There it is. I remember that. That's where he turned away from it. I was like, God, yeah, nice and calm. They were actually talking in that moment of like, oh, that's why he's going to be a good center back in the future. That's a little disrespectful.
It's definitely like a wild. Like I don't dislike any of it, but like it's definitely like he went after his height. Like he must have been pretty mad, or like he wasn't mad and he was like getting under his skin and like wanted to draw something more.
But also like Lainez is like linked to the biggest clubs in the world right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just
he's
like
an
it's
absolute
like,
baller.
He's sick.
The way Lainez was putting people on the ground,
Yeah.
I think he
What did he do
dribbled
to
by
him
him.
on the
Will
goalie?
Trap. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, he got
when
him
he did
good.
the old touch go like thing that we
He should have done the look to see where everybody where the U.S. defenders.
So
are.
that's the one. That's the one when you run past them, you do the old rear view mirror like this, where you look back to see where their player are because you can't see them anymore.
I would have loved a little glance back.
Yeah.
Maybe he was looking for Will Trap. See if he was still alive.
Hey, when did Will Trapp become 25? I thought he was like 20. Like he's just always like that young guy, and like now he's 25.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can work that out.
What?
Let's keep the camera on Pat and let him work through this one.
Okay, so
Okay, guy signs young, plays multiple years, becomes veteran, captain of the national team.
well, this is the thing.
25.
I thought that he was still young. Get that mic off me, Mike. I mean, camera. Fuck. Excuse my language. I'm panicking. Turn it away from
to
me.
get sanctioned because people like
I'm
Pat say
sanctioned.
things.
I
they get
swore-
flustered.
When I swear I have to, I think I did this last time Caleb was on the show. I swore, which is a mistake, but it's the real me at the same time. You know? What was I saying? Something about Will Trapp. He's 25. Who knew? Back to you.
Did you know he's 25?
Honestly, I've always looked up to Will. He's like gives me financial advice, relationship advice. He's like the most mature kid I've ever met in my life. So to me, he's always been a mentor.
More often than not, him and Ethan Finley are two guys that every time I see them, I get the proper handshake and firm.
Yeah.
And they're usually very well spoken, very crisp, and very businesslike.
Yeah.
Almost like military-esque, you know, a very professional. Wise beyond their years.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I got to get my life together, man.
Yeah. I'm a little too casual, I think. I mean, but then I look at Pat and I go, I'm doing all right. You know?
Big time.
That's super casual.
Big time.
You know?
Yeah. I'm constantly on it.
Pat, who's your role model? If you were to pick a current player on the U.S. men's national team, or maybe in MLS as a role model, or anywhere in global football.
Oh, that's a tough one. In MLS, who do I like in MLS?
I was going to say Jimmy Maurer.
Jimmy Maurer, I'd say. Dejan Jakovic, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my guys.
Okay.
No real reason.
No, but who else?
Like if you really needed advice, somebody to really lean on.
Giovanni Savarese. That one for real though.
Yeah.
I would like Gio Savarese could lead me wherever he needs, and I would follow him. So he's not an MLS player, but manager. He's the
We
best.
should have set more parameters for this.
Yeah. I feel like you set parameters, and he's just sort of like just coming up with
Wait,
names.
do you wanted a player?
Which is not non.
Well, I just feel like when he says a current player, that's what he means. So I feel like
Yeah.
I think you misunderstood that part. Essentially, he ruled out you saying me as the person you look up to by saying current, and then you went and found a coach.
Okay, let me try again. Piatti.
Why are you saying it like that?
I don't know. I just like I'm really struggling today.
Pat, he looks a little like
Yeah,
Piatti.
he's flustered.
That's a huge compliment.
Yeah,
if
you
you're serious.
You
I can
got
see
some
that.
Piatti vibes.
Have you gotten any other people that you look like?
Sometimes people say Kaká, but
That's a stretch.
But
It is. Oh, man.
Sorry, man.
it's okay. But I'm just saying, I'm just going off the commies.
Oh, yeah.
The commies.
That's what they say. Yeah.
No one else really. Just like
It's the brows, right?
just weirdos. I don't know.
The new haircut.
Kaká
With the
doesn't
new
have-
haircut, I could see a little more Kaká. The way it's kind of feathered. Like
I'm one of a kind, you know.
You're like the Greek, Italian, Irish Kaká.
Yeah. I've heard that.
The people's caca. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Tyler Adams scored his first goal for the national team. Not to talk too much about performances because that's not really what the show is about, but it's more of the idea that I kind of wished. It's one of those weird things because it was a young versus young, and we don't know how long we're going to get these young squads to go out. That I wish that they were playing fearless instead of playing to win. But against Mexico, it is that exception to the rule. It's like just beat Mexico and then we're all happy.
Sure.
Do you feel one way or another if they should have gone all out and been like creative, take risks, or like beat Mexico?
Oh, beat Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the talk. I understand the other side of it, where it's like you use this as a tool for learning and growing and expressing yourself. But no, a part of that learning and growing as a player is to compete to win and to play in meaningful situations and just win. So, Tyler Adams is one of those guys that I think they'll be able to lean on for a long time. I like him a lot.
So you would say Pat's senior high school year where they went 1-23 was a learning experience.
He tried to play too beautiful, you know? He got a little bit too expressive.
Too much principle. Like
That was a year of passion.
too stuck in the system.
Yeah.
Do less.
We were in a division that was way too high, which was the second division.
Is there a reason you just keep pointing?
Yeah, what do you? Yeah, we're gonna put something up. There we go.
Oh,
What is it?
okay.
Let's move on.
I just feel like the pointing.
Speaking of role models, yeah.
Yeah.
What
These
is
guys
it?
are ballers. George Weah and his son Timothy.
Oh, nice.
They both played yesterday.
This confused me for a while because I knew he played, but I thought it was like a serious game, not because it wasn't. It was just like a. What was it?
Yeah, it was a friendly.
But it was like a legitimate friendly, or it was like some sort of like it was an actual like.
It was a legit. He was supposed to get honored, and then he just decided to play.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Okay.
what's up.
That is called leveraging presidency.
He's got the King George right there. Thank you, King George, as the kit sponsor.
Yeah.
And it's also not a joke. Like he's the president. It's
Yeah.
like he's pretty much right there.
That's pretty sick.
I feel like a democratic country should be concerned when their president calls themselves a king.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Commies.
We should call that to.
Call the commies.
I'm gonna fly over there and speak with some of the people.
Oh, some of the boys.
Yeah.
Big
no,
day-
I don't
big-
mean it. He
big
is
day
the
boys?
king. He's the king.
Is there any other international stuff that anybody paid attention to?
Other international
I did see
stuff.
a meme that was funny, which was that other international stuff, which was that Croatia lost in the World Cup. What was it? Final?
Yeah.
What?
And Dejan Lovren made it to the final with the team, and then when they were without them, they lost 6-0 to Spain. You know, remember the meme where Dejan Lovren was saying that he's the best defender in the world and doesn't get the respect? You guys pay attention to that?
I think I
didn't
missed
see
that
that.
meme.
I mean,
The
What
World Cup
was it that he said? It was like essentially that he should be regarded as one of the best defenders in the world, and then everybody laughed and started making memes about it. And so now it's like the idea that Croatia lost 6-0 to Spain, and Dejan Lovren didn't play, and that was the reason because you didn't have the best defender in the world. I don't know, guys.
Yeah, it's adding
Did he
up
get
for
in a
sure.
jet ski accident? That's why he's hurt.
A jet
Really?
ski
Yeah,
accident?
that's what I heard.
Is that true?
If that's true, that's kind of sick.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And also,
Very,
foreshadowing
very
for the
eastbound
weekend.
and down to jet ski.
Yeah, I can see that.
Jet skis are dangerous. You should be very careful if you find yourself on a jet ski.
100%. It's funny that the rundown says other international stuff.
Yeah, you didn't fill any of it in.
I know, I'm a bad person. I'm not saying that, I'm not criticizing you. It's just funny.
Also, the Zaldivar red card from the Mexico game was controversial. I
Really?
think.
Why is that?
Because I think he was getting fouled on his way down, and his body was half turned when he went into the tackle. He didn't even actually tackle. But it was like a perfect storm where he got pulled back, and he's kind of going to the ground. His legs are this way, both of it in a very two-footed fashion, goes straight into the leg. But he was also being pulled down this way,
Right.
and he didn't like. It wasn't like a lunge challenge. That it should have been a foul on Carter Vickers.
Yeah, but they usually get the second one, right?
Yeah.
Like the first one, you usually gets away with it, and then the second one.
But I'm saying I don't even think he meant to do that tackle.
Oh.
I'm saying he was on his way down, like feet pulled out from under him kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's a red. I think it doesn't really matter intent, right? Always. If you go over the ball, you get a guy pretty good above the studs. And also you have to think about the moment. It had just happened after the Miazga thing where the two guys are, so tempers are high. and the referee's going to call it a little tighter in that
Yeah,
moment.
that's true. It just sucks because that was that guy's debut too.
Yeah, well,
that
that was
dropping
sort
your
of like
debut?
everybody's debut.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
But do you
I
wanna
was
be
like,
the one guy who's sent off?
I was like, oh, he let his teammates down, and it's like, the guy next to him's like 19, the guy next to him 18. No one's gonna say anything to him.
They're like, okay.
Yeah, but that is a bummer because
Yeah.
for him, it's such a big moment.
Pat, what's going on in the comments?
Someone asked if France could win NASCAR, so I'm on that. Because I don't even know what they're trying to ask.
We're talking about Talladega Nights.
Is that from that?
Yeah, I think it's Talladega Nights.
Oh, that's funny.
Because the F1 driver comes in and races NASCAR
Could
against Ricky
France
Bobby.
win NASCAR? That's funny. I'm going to say yes.
Au revoir, Ricky Bobby. Speaking of France, PSG is the first football team with their own cryptocurrency. We don't know what that means, but they partnered with Socios, I think it's called, to create a cryptocurrency. I think this is probably more PR than anything at the moment because cryptocurrency is not in a place that you exactly want to be throwing all your money into it. But if you're a huge PSG fan and you want to throw some money into a cryptocurrency just to be part of something.
Someone told me that cryptocurrency was like pretty bro-y. It was like a very bro-y thing. And then I actually read another article. This is not related to this, just in my life.
Sorry, we want to hear it.
About it actually, the majority of people who use cryptocurrency are people of color, too. So there's like a big push towards that. So
Why
it's
is
actually
that?
a really democratic sort. I don't know. It hasn't been.
Amazing.
I don't know.
I feel like
So
it's
it's bros of color.
Yeah, like black frats. Yeah.
That's sick.
That's amazing. Do you guys have any cryptocurrency?
No, broke Coutinho.
Brotinho.
Brotinho.
Oh, it's all going full circle now.
Yeah.
Bro culture. I don't have any cryptocurrency. I did. I have some long-term stuff, some whole stuff I'm holding. I'm really waiting for that bounce back of $17,000 of what is it, the Mike knows he lost some money.
Oh yeah, Mike behind the camera.
We can't show you Mike right now, but he's turning red because this is a very, very sensitive subject for him.
no.
Hold on, we can show Mike.
My money's been more than halved, or less than half.
Really?
You've lost 50% of your money.
More than that.
Okay.
I didn't put too much in.
If you zoom in,
I just feel like the way you're using percentages and numbers and whatever is a good indicator as to how good you are at cryptocurrency.
If you zoom in on me, can you see Mike?
Yeah, here we go, real quick.
This is amazing. This is behind the scenes like we've never
This is
seen.
teamwork, guys.
So wait,
That's so cool.
So have you lost all your money?
What?
You've lost all your money?
Yeah.
He said it's more than halved.
This is just getting me to
Which
see
in
what
cryptocurrency talk means you're not doing well.
Wait, so you lost all that? So you're in bad shape, my friend.
Yeah, dude, so is everyone.
Then why'd you? Because
I don't
you
think
guys
that
were
makes it
buying
okay.
it a couple months ago. You guys were buying so much. I have no cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
See, I have an iPhone 5 that I'm waiting for it to become a vintage item, and then I'll sell that. So that's my cryptocurrency.
Wow.
Where did that part come from?
So does it go through
I
wild
just
swings though? Or
I
do you have a
found an
chance of
iPhone 5
coming
It's
back?
just been going in a downhill trajectory.
Okay, it's a death
since,
spiral.
like, February.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ciao, Diego.
So I guess
Let's
you
talk
could
about
say
downhill versus uphill, by the way. It's a very hard conversation to have because downhill would mean have more momentum,
yeah.
but uphill would mean your cryptocurrency is facing a very difficult battle. It could also mean that things are improving if this was
I'm
a
just
stock
looking at
market
the graph, and it's going down, and I want it to go up.
So should you
Use the
sell?
word.
Should
maybe
you sell or
PSG
wait?
will help.
I'm
Maybe
just gonna
this could
hold
help.
it for forever.
So you should not sell. You should wait.
Well, it depends if I need the money, then yeah, you take it out, but I don't need the money right now.
Mike's wedding gift to his kids in 30 years is going to be 1/100th of a Bitcoin.
Will it ever recover? You were pitching.
We won't even be using crypto by then. It'll be the next thing,
Yeah.
dude.
So-
It'll already run
Can
its
we
course.
actually go back to real life application of cryptocurrency?
Okay.
Because my bodega in Bed-Stuy actually accepted Bitcoin.
Can you hear this,
I thought that
commies?
was really cool.
That is cool. That is really cool.
Real life
Yeah.
application.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Have you used it?
No, I didn't have it at the time, and then I moved out and then I bought it. But it was there.
Was that what convinced you to buy it? Or you were like, oh,
Well, I
the
was like-
bodegas are in?
They're like $5 minimum for credit card. Use cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
which could be worth 10 times as much.
The commies
tomorrow.
have some comments.
What
Yeah.
am I saying?
They're saying SC Steve says crypto will go back up. Trevor
Yeah.
says now is the time to buy.
How is it gonna buy?
Chewy says we come for football, end up getting financial advice. Trevor says buy low, sell high, which I feel like is a pretty good call.
Yeah.
Alonzo says no, it won't. Okay, we're all in. This is a crypto thing now.
Dude, this was just like when we talked about Nintendo Switch on here, dude. There is some adjacencies to football that we are discussing with people, as well as being an expert in all things.
I forgot about that Nintendo Switch when we talked about
games I should buy for the trip.
For Switch?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got to do it naturally because now it feels like we're
you buy Zelda,
it's not
of which
sponsored
the
by
main
it.
character is Zelda.
Man United recently posted an ad for a transfer specialist, like a legitimate person who's good at the transfer window.
Like a scout, or no?
Like in a regular advertisement,
Like
right?
knows how to work the transfer market, I guess, the right way.
Okay.
Which is unusual to post. Like you would think that a business that big could find the network of somebody that they're looking for.
What else is there? Let's see, casual contact center advisor. What is that?
I applied for that.
You know what's funny is those first 5 jobs on that list, just because they say casual, I think Pat would be great for them. Because it's like, I'm not super into this, and I'm pretty laid back.
I'll take any job where it's like a
Yeah, it just says casual.
The casual refreshment assistant.
refreshment.
Yes, casual refreshment assistant.
So just
like a mate.
that's so a guy that comes to work and drinks mate because I'm doing that at a
It makes
at
me
a
wonder what the
12th grade
next
level.
tier to that is, though, is competitive.
But you're the assistant. You're not really running it. You're
Who's
just
the
kind
head
of
of
there.
that? This is incredible. Imagine, I actually respect this. They're looking for the regular person to do the irregular person's
But then they're like linked with like transfer.
Right.
Transfer person.
Casual also means kind of the hooligan terrorist culture, though.
Oh,
yeah. That's not me, though, because I don't have nice clothes.
That's true. Mentally, you represent that world. You just smell differently.
I smell, as Aaron says, like a regular person. Not bad, but not good. You know?
Would you say that's an okay smell?
Shout out, Aaron. It's just neutral. Like it's pure. It's neutral smell.
So if somebody's like, what are you wearing today? You say neutral?
I just say like it's your boy.
I'm wearing me.
You know? I'm wearing Body by PI.
That's great. I could see that on a rack next to Ronaldo's, like CR7.
And then they spray it and it's like, oh, this smells like nothing.
This smells like a little bit of Subway. The actual vehicle.
Sounds like
the
a little bit of
sandwich
Dos
shop.
Toros.
A little bit of Dos Toros, like maybe a little bit of beef broth in there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of black mold.
Asbestos.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the UEFA Club competition for 2021. The Cup Winners' Cup? No, that's not what it is, right? It's just the third competition.
That's what might come back, right?
Yeah, so they'll be moving Europa League to 32 teams, Champions League to 32 teams, and there will be a third competition for 32 teams. What if the giant surprise is that it's actually bigger than Champions League, but the mechanism for qualifying for Champions League is all the same, and they just say, like, this is the new D1 of tournaments?
That's how Man United would get in.
Is this? Hold on. So what is it really going to be?
We don't know. They're going to announce it, but it's going to be a third European competition alongside Champions League and Europa League.
There was once a Cup Winners' Cup that was for domestic cup winners, right?
Yes.
And that would be cool if he came back. I mean, it ended up just being the Champions League and Europa League, right?
Yeah.
What else could it be?
I don't know.
I think you could do like a 128 team single elimination knockout tournament.
That's actually a good shout. You can get some teams, like some money for some leagues that are a little bit more obscure, create the Cinderella stories, one-off games, just like you do your domestic cup. You typically play, the smaller team plays home, generate some income. You'll still end up with a very good, solid core contingent, but it's not saying Man United or Chelsea or Juventus have to add 14 games onto the season. It could be 8 games onto the season, but those first 4 or 5 rounds you could have young players playing, and then you get into whatever, and it's just a single game.
And they probably skip the first games either, so you can do it like a tiered system, kind of like the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah.
You know what I want? Even better than your idea? Do a Europa League for the last place team in every league, and then the winner gets like a cash prize, which helps them get promoted again. Wouldn't it be great to see a tournament of all the worst teams from every league?
Like, to watch?
Yeah.
I mean, you probably have pretty sick supporters at all those things. So
It
like
would be
you'd have like a very
How fun would just a tournament of losers be? That's my terrain. That's where I
The
thrive.
toilet bowl, yeah.
the toilet bowl. Yeah, that's good.
Who finished last in the Premier League last year? Stat Jack.
Was it Stoke?
Was it?
Was it Stoke?
Swansea?
No, it was West Brom.
Swansea?
West Brom.
West Brom finished last,
Yeah.
and then I don't know. Yeah, West Brom. Oh, what a tournament! You know?
Does the loser get all the money?
No. Oh wow. Also,
Okay, now you guys are just being ridiculous.
No. Let me finish. Loser of every team, every league enters a tournament. Winner gets that money to help them get promoted. Loser has to fold. Because at that point you've lost everything, and it'd be so embarrassing that you gotta just give it up.
What if that dropped into another tier of loser tournament, and you just keep going deeper into the loser tournaments?
And then there was like people trying to like get to the bottom of it.
Just
there's like some
breeding
kind of
mediocrity throughout the world, one tournament at a time.
I like that.
Yeah, man, this is where I live.
1,000 light years away from reality. That's great.
So we don't actually know what this tournament is. It's going to be a surprise. It's like the mystery.
Yeah, it's
box.
a surprise. Yeah, it's like the Airhead, the mystery Airhead.
Okay.
You don't know what flavor it is.
Oh, those are
exactly it. Oh, it's the mystery taffy taffy candy. No free plugs.
This feels like, no offense, but this feels kind of like an MLS idea. Just like we've got like new tournaments all the time. A couple of them that sound kind of cool. This Campeones Cup.
Campeones Cup will be cool.
You're going, right?
Apparently, I got to get it approved by Megan. If you're watching, I sent you a thing, an itinerary. We'll talk about that off the show.
Nice.
Obviously. Yeah, I might be going to that. That'll be cool. Toronto versus Tigres.
That will be cool, actually.
It sucks that Toronto's not at
So
the
is
level they were this time
This
last
is the
year.
last thing they need, by the way, right now
yeah.
this season.
Yeah.
Is it only one game then?
I think it's one
Home
game
and
this
away?
year, and then next year they're going to do
Home and away.
home and away.
Okay, that'll be sweet.
I'm going to the U.S. Open Cup.
That'll be
H-Town
best
against
tournament ever.
Philly. Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
For work or pleasure?
Both, man.
Working pleasure.
Sometimes, life conspires to give it a true gift.
The
a
U.S.
little bit
Open
of fun.
Cup.
What's that?
I was going to say the U.S. Open Cup is the best.
You're looking at a champion. Not to
What year?
2006.
Oh, good year for me.
What
I was
yeah.
14.
Ooh,
Nice.
that hurts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The U.S. Open Cup is really cool.
And it's in Houston, my old city, so
Is
shout out to any
Houston-
Houston fans that are down
Where's Houston in the table right now?
Not
Not in a
making
good
the
spot.
playoffs.
Yeah,
So
this is
it,
their
man.
season.
This is because I mean, Champions League spot on the line.
And
That'd be
Philly
awesome.
has never won a trophy.
Poor Philly. If they lose this one, they're quickly turning into the Buffalo Bills of the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah, they got to throw everything.
Not to
at
mention
this.
there, but they are in a playoff picture now, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk about MLS. Are we
one of the
down
hottest
to talk about MLS?
Would you guys be up for, this is a random thought because you said Buffalo Bills, because I just watched the Hard Knocks on Cleveland, it has nothing to do with Buffalo Bills, but it's more of the idea that, like, I'm kind of over NFL football, right? I'm a 49ers fan, but I don't pay attention anymore. I probably will if they're good again. They lost their first week, but I went on specifically to see the players that I was watching in preseason for Cleveland, see how they did, see who did well. Do you think that there would be a huge wave of momentum if you could create a Hard Knock style thing? And I know we all talk about this in MLS,
Yeah.
or in soccer in North America. Even if it's Las Vegas Lights, like if there was something really, really unique, very, very gritty, its own version. Obviously, you can't talk about the glitz and glamour and whatever, even though Joseph Martinez is pushing that Maserati around Hotlanta.
Yes, he is.
But like, do you think that has a chance to really grasp people and pull people in a way that, like, I am now interested in the Cleveland Browns, not as a fan, but like the storylines. I now want to follow, see how they do, because I know them. I feel like I know them as people, and I'm invested in their story. Also, the players that got cut, I'm like following to see where they end up.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it needs to be just more than that, actually. Like, that should just inform how people look at content and like do it, like the storytelling you guys do or the stuff that I try and do is a little bit more of just like, you can't just shove the sport down people's throat because the people who are already eating that are taking as much as they can, and it's like, try something a little different. And if especially from an MLS perspective, like, I think we have, in growing the sport in the U.S., whether it's MLS or USL or whatever it is, you have to try something a little bit different and not be afraid to try stuff.
Right.
But I would watch that, I think the way to do it would be with an expansion team. I think that would be really cool, like Nashville or, like one of the new MLS teams, or Miami coming in, like a team maybe with an owner like Beckham that is down to maybe try something like that and has the cred to pull it off. the Miami thing would be pretty cool.
So is the show, it just like follows the team?
It basically takes them at the start of their preseason, and it was only 5 one-hour episodes, but it follows, okay, there's 80-man or 52-man roster, whatever it is, right, for the season. But there's 80 guys in camp, and it follows the storylines of 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 people, including, and then players, and then coaching staff and whatever. And so it creates this kind of world in which they live, and you get to really, really know all these people's character on a unique level. Obviously, it's produced. You don't know what's real, what's not real, but like it's a pretty raw look into the life of a professional football player. And even though I couldn't care less what a offensive tackle does or a lineman does or whatever, like I've now found connection to them as people, which is kind of unique because maybe it's a little bit different coming from our standpoint as former athletes to know what they're going through and being cut and those types of things, but I just feel like there's something that you're like, oh, they make a lot of money, but they're suffering too. They've got families, they're away from family. They've got all these unique things that connect us as humans that we don't always get to see. I would love to see that on a soccer level, to see what the sacrifice is for a kid that's making 60 grand a year. And the same as like Joseph Martinez, whose life is about going to training, balling out of control, getting into his Ferrari car and hanging out at a coffee shop, is going to be completely different than the kid who's trying to make it and can't figure out how he's going to keep the lights on or keep his career going. I think it's coming to a point where you're starting to have that range of success that would resonate. I don't know. I think it'd be really, really cool.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Great for this season would have been DC United, especially now in this final stretch. If you could do it during the season, it'd be sick.
Yeah, but it could have been great for LAFC. It could have been great for Atlanta. Like it could have been great for if you're focusing on expansion, like what was happening in Orlando and those types of things. Like,
why do you think it hasn't happened?
I don't think. I think people are fearful. I know that MLS constantly gets pitched it, and I think there's a hesitation because maybe they don't feel like you have the full spectrum of people yet, right? To make it like it's got to be big and flashy and aspirational and inspirational, and it also has to have this raw and gritty kind of like ends in an ugly place, because a lot of it does end in this very much like Last Chance U type thing where it's like they go on to do nothing, you know? Yeah. That player goes on to do nothing and never play a game again in their career, same as that player goes on to do great, great things. And so I think maybe it feels more like the grittiness would be more of a bad look on the league than the greatness of it at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of the overall, like if you were to take 8 characters and coaching and everything and all the money involved, maybe it has more of a negative outcome than a positive outcome.
But I think if you were to do it, especially, you want to do the right club, you know, but if you picked a club like Atlanta United and you saw what a way to show their facilities, to show the guy riding off in the Maserati, and then some of the more like humble stories are great too, because the fallout for those guys isn't as bad in some ways, because, you know, if a guy's leaving Wake Forest and doesn't end up making the team on the last day, it's still crushing, but guys, you know, went to college and has a good degree and can move forward. So I think that would be really cool.
I'd be down for it. A second division Mexican team that was managed by Diego Maradona.
Oh, that is a great segue right back to our run of show as we lost that. That is a superstar producer.
Just real quick, vibes for Stat Jack running the show today. Yeah. As we said, vibes for Flores is in Paris.
Yes.
And so we got Jack, we got Andrew, we got Mike behind the cam. It's good times.
Anyways, do the commies think anything about that, or can we just move on now?
They had a lot of thoughts.
Did they do it for Juventus?
Yeah, but that's not really hard knocks. That was a promotion. That was basically a Juventus commercial.
Yeah,
did Man City do it?
Tyler says Copenhagen should do it for.
Man City's was good, but you're not seeing any. It's
that was too much in one episode, though.
It was hard because they ended up winning at the end of the year, and it was last year. So you already, if you followed it, you knew a lot of the storylines.
It
was a trophy. It's an incredible show. Really, really amazing. Really, really well done. You got to learn a lot about Pep Guardiola, which is really, really cool, which we don't always get to see.
Yeah.
But you also have to do the other side of it of like what happened to the players after the season, who got let go, who got released, who got whatever, as this was more of like a celebratory thing, which was really cool. But
it's also less cool when everybody has a Maserati.
Yeah.
You can't just get as invested in being like, oh man, like he's got to go home in his Maz now. It's more cool to see the guy who's like, man, I really am tired of this Honda Accord.
Lost his first game after 22 matches. Well, at least he's got the Lambo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You rich? Oh, cool. Me too, man.
But no, like that is a very cool. That is a very cool documentary. But I think Hard Knocks has a little bit more of that raw, gritty kind of street to it that shows like the realities of the world we live in, the realities of sport that isn't always like a kind of a controlled or coddled view of like celebration or whatever. There's a lot of sadness.
But I do think it was cool that Man City did allow that and that they would like allow that type of access, because especially when I talk to guys who played in the Premier League or places like that where they're like, oh, they would never allow anybody halftime interviews. What are you guys doing over there? But I think that's the way this is all going.
Man City's thinking completely different than all the other clubs. We worked with them in the summer and they were super great, very progressive, like gave us unique access that we never thought we were going to get. And hopefully that leads to more clubs being progressive. Let's talk about Diego Armando Maradona. Is now the coach at Sinaloa, right? At Dorados.
Amazing.
He's the coach.
He's the coach. And there's a quote here saying, when I gave up drugs 15 years ago, they told me I wouldn't do anything else with my life. And here he is, coaching.
He gave up drugs 15 years ago? I think come on, bro. Come on, Diego.
It's the longest 15 years of my life.
Come on, Diego.
Personally,
it's cool.
I believe it.
You do?
Oh, dude. He's Maradona. I believe him.
Yeah.
What he says is a lot.
This is messed up, but I remember at the World Cup he had that thing, and all the videos were out, and someone was like, he died, and that was the rumor going around Twitter, was he was dead, and I was like, should have known.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the sad part. But now you don't.
He might have died.
It's just it feels like a very. And I haven't read enough about this article to know what the context of the quote, but it just feels like there's other things that could be his quote when being presented to whatever, you know, in terms of the impact that he's had. And it's not about not doing anything else with my life. You're Diego Maradona. As long as you are breathing, you are going to be of value to somebody as a human. You are one of, if not the greatest player ever, one of the greatest players ever. So there is no way to fall off of that completely on this earth and not have a value to people in the soccer world. He's done incredible things. I just feel like I don't understand the quote enough to comment on it. It just seems a little bit, I don't know, angry, bitter. Told you so. But
look at when I gave up drugs 15 years ago, they told me I wouldn't do anything else with my life. Was that like another drug addict being like, "Oh, don't quit, man"? Like that.
Yeah.
Like you'll be nothing without us.
Oh, was it the result? Oh wait,
where's that club in the? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Is he saying that he wouldn't do anything else because he stopped doing drugs? No, like I mean, honestly, the idea is that like he basically burned himself out and he would have nowhere to go. Is that what the quote is? Like he wouldn't make it? He wouldn't do anything? Great? I'm a bit confused in myself.
Yeah,
right
and there could have been a translation issue here as well.
Anyways, happy for him. Hopefully they do well. Sinaloa.
They're in 13th.
They haven't won a game yet.
They're in 13th out of 15. Seems like I mean, promotion's so weird in the Mexican League that. I mean, I assume that they hired him because they want to go up.
So would you say that his odds are that all downhill, or is it uphill from here?
I hope if he needs to go uphill, or it'll go downhill. But if it goes well, it'll be all downhill.
I just hope they didn't pay him in crypto, man.
True.
Just depends if
they might have got him.
Players.
Yeah.
They might have got him, Mike.
Well,
it'd be pretty sick.
Tim Hankinson, let's talk about Chattanooga pro soccer coach. I don't know why I read that whole thing. That didn't. Tim Hankinson.
Yeah. Where do I know him from?
He's been around for a long time.
MLS.
He did,
coached
right?
MLS, right?
Yeah.
Chicago, maybe? Let's find out. The reason we're talking about him is definitely not as fun as his very good coaching career. He coached Indy 11 last couple of years. Colorado Rapids from 2001 to 2004.
That's sick.
Okay.
I guess that's
Tampa Bay Mutiny. There it is.
Oh wow.
That's the one we want. 98 to 2000.
Let me take a look. Okay.
Oh wow. And then didn't he coach?
Whoa! Shout out to Montego Bay United.
Also, that's really sick. Montego Bay United, like.
Wow.
No. And then he coached Indy 11.
I respect that. That's pretty cool.
I actually when this is funny when the Cosmos won the 2016 NASL final and we sprinted on the field, I was sprinting full speed at the Indy 11 fans and I almost ran into him.
Really?
At full speed, and he's like an older gentleman, so it would have definitely hurt him. So good thing I didn't. The reason we're talking about him though is like this whole USL Chattanooga Division III thing.
Yeah. What's your take on it?
What's going on?
My take, I've got a lot of takes on it, but
well, tell us what's going on then.
Yeah. Essentially, what's going on is USL Division III, which is a new league starting in 2019, is putting a team in Chattanooga, but it's not like the Chattanooga FC that's been there for 10 years and is a very successful club. So it's like another chapter of the kind of frustrating like soccer wars in this country where like teams are cannibalizing each other for no real reason.
Can they not both exist?
I mean, they probably can. It's at the D4 and D3 level, but Chattanooga FC wants to go to this like NPSL Pro that's rumored. And it's not like Chattanooga's...
So there'd be no way for them to build that local rivalry because they never play each other. They'd just be cannibalizing audiences.
Yeah, that and it's Chattanooga. Like, it's a great city. It can definitely support soccer, but like 2 professional teams in Chattanooga, Tennessee, doesn't add up in the long run, does it? Maybe it does, but I don't think so.
What's this USL 3 thing gonna be? So
it starts next year. It's like, yeah.
It's below USL?
Yeah, it's because there was no Division 3 the last 2 years, so they're making a Division 3. NISA also wants to be D3, and they'll probably get it as well. So we might have 2 Division 3s. But USL D3 like should be fine for the most part. Like some teams are dropping down, like Richmond Kickers and like Penn FC, and a lot of the MLS2 teams that aren't as like ambitious as Red Bull 2, and a few of the others are going to go down as well. So it'll work out. It's definitely going to like fill out a space. But
that's cool.
The fact that they're putting a team in Chattanooga is a bit strange. The reason Tim Hankinson was like the reason we're talking about him is Tim Hankinson, like the press conference being named the manager of USL D3 Chattanooga, shouted out the supporters of the Chattanooga FC who are not a fan of that organization whatsoever. Like it's gonna get
thinking they were.
I don't know. This is the thing. I don't know if he was clueless, like he did the wrong research, or if I'm a little bit suspicious and afraid that like USL Chattanooga is just trying to confuse the average fan, because like
I mean that's pretty conspiracy theorist.
It is. It could be, but like. At the same time, they're trying to play at the same stadium, all that stuff.
And Tim Hankinson is just a pawn in this cruel game.
I don't really think of it as conspiracy as much as like it's just like they're competing for the same like casual fan. Like you have like the hardcore supporters that are obviously going to support Chattanooga FC, but then USL D3 like needs to win over the people that are just going to games because they like soccer. Following that whole situation is going to be a bit weird.
We'll find out how that plays out.
We'll find out. Hopefully it works out for everyone, I guess.
What's up with the commies, dude? Did you forget about them?
No, I mean, I was on a talking session for a while, so let me go back and see what they say.
it means a lot to them when you
acknowledge
them.
Definitely. I mean, I'm with the commies all times, but like, I was having a little talking session.
No, I learned a lot. That was cool for me.
It's complicated. It's really complicated, and
like,
hopefully it works out. Let's see what the commies have to say. Anything about it?
No, there's that guy on the horse behind you is about to rope you in, bud.
Is that you? That's going to be us in Vermont this weekend.
Is that a real FC Dallas poster?
It is. That was me as a child.
Is that you? Oh my God, I didn't even notice. That was
a photo shoot for Vets.
You look dead inside. Like if we get close in on his face, like look at his eyes. Like that's a man that's completely defeated.
Mike, can you go closer? Get a better lens, bud.
Hey man, Matt took the lens.
Wow.
That guy's haunted by something.
You can't tell me that's not professional modeling.
That's some solid manscaping there too.
Also, like, can we go? Like,
what are you?
There's no manscaping, dude. I'm just not a hairy-chested person.
Industry for veterans.
I got no taco meat.
I'm very confused.
Like,
what are you lassoing her?
This is cool. Yeah.
I wasn't behind the creative on this one, but that's a cutter. That's a cutter horse, which are really really fun to ride.
I don't think any of us are really thinking about the horse at this point. Because this is questionable.
Yeah, that's
shot
wild.
on location at Punk Carter's Ranch. FC Dallas defender Heath Pierce and Kim Dawson model Leslie Ann.
So Punk Carter has his own. He was like one of the very first famous bull riders in the country on the tours. And he has his own like salsas and like hot sauces and stuff that he does out of this. It's a cutter horse ranch.
Have you guys ever Googled Heath Pierce before?
All the time.
I mean, it is the best. It is the best. Every once in a while, I'll just be at my desk at MLS, and I'll just be like, I don't know, have a little time to kill, and I'll just Google Heath Pierce, and it just brings me great joy. And I thought I'd found everything, but then I come to find there's still more to give.
It is really fun.
But I think I saw some other pictures from this shoot, some outtakes.
Did you see some of the other guys from this too?
No, I just
like Greg Shea laying on hay and Daniel Hernandez like with like a straw in his mouth. And
this is a nice photo.
It was good. It was a lot of fun. So what it was is like you buy a deck of cards and they send a deck of cards to Afghanistan or Iraq. So you guys.
So this is for a good cause.
Well, I think it's great. I think the charity itself is great. I just would question this. But I stand next to it every week, so.
I'm just doing my part, trying to do my part, you know?
You wore too many different numbers with the national team.
Yes.
And I know you did it on purpose. And
I did that on purpose. That was an
retroactively,
attempt with myself and Jesse Bignami. Big shout out to Jay Biggs, the head of like equipment for U.S. Soccer. I don't know if he still is, but he was. And he's also a Nor Cowboy. And we tried to see how many jersey numbers I could play in, which is pretty cool.
Dude.
Pat, what are the commies saying?
Ignoring them. Let me see. I am ignoring them because I'm looking at photos. I questioned the guy standing in front of it. It says Matt Flores. Okay,
yes,
Matt.
thank you.
Matt, I watched you shove a girl last night in our game last night. He was the goalie. Like, she attacked him pretty hard. I'm not going to explain the situation, but you shoved her, and that was not right.
Wow.
Makes sense.
You got to be careful.
He didn't know.
Comments.
Like, he just shoved whoever was attacking him from behind.
What else are the commies saying? They talking about
let me
anything?
go in there. Aaron West is in there too. Too many people I know in here.
What's Aaron talking about?
Aaron said, none of my requests have been fulfilled, and I honestly am pretty frustrated right now. Aaron, say it again. And Matt says it was warranted. It definitely was warranted.
So we have 2 people in the comments?
Jack says the curry ketchup is pretty good on fries. Don't know what that. I got to scroll back.
Yeah.
I want Heath to twist his mustache and pretend like he's plotting something deep from Aaron.
I took a photo at MLS Cup. Oh, that's a good one too. That was I think that was post-Movember.
I realized we were talking about Maradona and people wanted to talk about that. We'll come back.
That's what you get from Googling Heath Pierce, I'm telling you guys.
What's the 5 Points movie? Gangs of New York. Yeah, I look like Bill the Butcher. Not right now, but when I had my hair down and my hat on, people gave me that a lot up at MLS Cup last year in Toronto. They were like, Bill the Butcher. I was like, I get it.
You had a good look at All-Star this year, too.
I gotta get in the comments and be there for a bit.
What was the look?
Yeah, just like you had the hat, and I think you had the hair out, just flowing, a little bit.
I try to bring it out, dude. It's part of like, when you spend a lot of time with the kids and at home, sometimes you just gotta express yourself in different ways. Let your hair down, wear your hair up, wear a hat, don't wear a hat, change the type of hat.
No, man.
Aaron says that he loves you, Kalen.
Oh, wow.
And that was specifically tasked on me to relay to you.
Just feel
That's so nice, man.
Maybe he doesn't need to make sure that point gets across.
Is it fair to say Aaron West is the most likable person in U.S. soccer?
No. Likeable smile.
Okay.
Like, charming smile.
Positive as can be.
No.
Every other week I see him tweeting how much he loves his job. Yeah. And now I feel why, because it gets to,
I'd say Aaron loves broth more than anyone else in U.S. soccer.
Broth?
That's fair. Yeah. And sour candy.
Also, I've never seen a man eat as much candy as Aaron West. He puts candy down.
Really?
But he still is. He's fit. He's fit, and he's.
Well, to be fair, if you asked Club America, who he trained with last weekend, if he's fit, they might feel otherwise. Now, visually, he's fit.
It looks good.
Sometimes I run
struggle.
No, yeah.
He struggled, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I run into Aaron and I cut my hand on his 6-pack. You know what I mean? He's a wonderful guy. He's great, incredible shape.
He is great.
Handsome.
He is great. So the Canadian Premier League's set to launch in 2019 with 7 teams, but they're looking for an 8th.
You have any ideas?
I'm not against helping look as a consultant, but what if I were to give away a free idea right now?
Oh, that's probably happened before. I don't want to see you get burned again.
You can always invoice them after
the last time the Canadian Premier League tried to form, I gave them free ideas, and I'm not doing that this time.
Wait, hold on. What did you do?
I gave them the idea.
Of being Canadian Premier League?
Yeah, saying like former Queensland Premier League, localize it, Canadian Premier League, put them together.
Localize it? I'm pretty excited for Canadian Premier
League. What about ringleaders?
I
Maybe they
think
could
it'd
get
be
a squad.
Dude, I just got re-signed by them.
Really?
Yeah.
You
I
got
got a penny
picked up?
pack, I got an off-the-hook shirt, and 2 ringleader shirts.
Damn.
Sick.
That's what's up.
Sick. I didn't get to play in the Midnight Cup that they recently did, but shout out to ringleaders. They're tight.
Yeah, they are
They
dope.
should put a team together.
Can they send me some stuff?
They're doing I saw they're doing the next tournament over in Iceland, right? What do they call it? It's like a snow. It's like they do a snow tournament.
Oh
in
yeah,
Montreal all
yeah,
the
yeah.
time.
That what Frostbite Cup is that?
Yeah,
what it is?
Frostbite
Yeah.
Cup. And they're gonna do the next one in Iceland, which would be a sick feature. You guys should go
Yeah.
over there and do
Wow.
that. I'd like to come.
That's sick.
I'm gonna need to borrow some monies, and I'm all in. It's actually
Send
a super
another
short
email
flight.
on our behalf. We want to go to Iceland.
Have
I
you
will.
have you been to
Megan?
Iceland?
No, never.
I've heard it's only like 4.5, 5 hour flight from
It's
here.
quick.
Like, very
It's
close.
cheap.
Like
Yeah,
just a little jump.
it's like you could walk there from Vermont.
Could you?
It's an island, but
Maybe that's the 8th team. Iceland gets a team in the Canadian Premiership.
that'd be sick. That'd be really sick. The
They could
Canadian
also put a Russian team into the Canadian Premier League.
Well,
I get that.
There's a lot of teams that are pretty close to Alaska.
your
You
old
can almost
enemy,
see it.
a club that Heath Pierce haunts for all time, is going to be in the Canadian Premier League, and that's Edmonton FC. FC Edmonton? FC Edmonton.
Yeah.
Did you do some battles with them?
It was the Canadian Cup semis. Last minute, we were gonna go out on goal difference.
It's on YouTube. It's
Created something single-handedly. Handball led to a penalty for us. We scored. Owners
It's
on the
sick.
field fighting. Everybody's fighting. Everything's going off.
It's cool.
It was actually really cool. I mean, it sucks for them because it was a little bit just unfortunate. It was a handball, but it was unfortunate.
He kicked it into his hand, which is still a handball. But it's like,
But the
This guy
Canadian
had it.
Cup is one of the raddest things in North America. How much they care.
Yeah.
the reason I always
Okay.
bring that game up because I watched that game just because I wanted to, and I was like, "Who's this scumbag kicking it into this guy's hand?" If I ever meet him, I'm gonna become good friends with him. And that's what all that happened.
Are there
Yeah.
Canadian Premier League teams going to be in MLS markets, or are they going elsewhere?
I think there's like a suburban Toronto team, but
Okay.
yeah, I think otherwise they're going. And there's actually like a Vancouver Island, which is
Yeah,
is that close to Vancouver?
Victoria's sick. My friend that I actually played in college with, that I actually played against in Germany, named Josh Simpson, I think is the president of the Victoria team or something like that.
Let's
He just
look
came
at the
back from-
teams.
Also,
So
are
it's-
there sick kits involved with this league? I feel like that's the key that they need to unlock.
One
that's true.
team. I'm assuming a lot of teams are going to be sponsored by Inaria, which is that Canadian-based team that makes shirts for Cosmos, and they do like some cool
They're
custom
Canadian?
stuff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's the same company that like makes, or it's like the soccer branch of like that one hockey company.
You would think Umbro would get involved if
That'd
they
be
have
sick.
the national team.
Mm-hmm.
That's true too.
Yeah.
I know one of the teams has like Mighty Ducks colors, so they're bound to be sick,
That's tight.
right? Oh, and there's Halifax Wanderers. No, what's the one with Mighty Ducks colors? Pacific FC. That's a cool badge.
That's cool.
Can you pull that up? Pacific FC. That's the one that's in
One of my favorite
Langford.
shirts.
Survey says no, they can't pull it up. So, but that's a great job.
Don't worry, check it out. You got me. That's a cool badge. Cool colors. Pretty makeshift display from me right now. My bad. But
I think that's the Canadian Premier League logo.
How is that?
no,
Mighty Ducks?
that's Pacific FC. Mighty Ducks colors.
Let's talk about,
That's not somebody.
No, dude.
let's talk about some of those folders you got on that
Wait,
desktop.
what's the?
Dude, the Mighty Ducks are green, not turquoise.
Green and
That's-
purple.
Wait,
Can
what?
we look at a
I guess that's true. What am I
Hey,
thinking of then?
Hey, Keelan wants to know if we can pop into that search history of yours. Maybe go into history, show us what you've been looking up lately.
I'd like to take a look just
Let's
you
go.
know, to get a better sense of what life is like here at Copa. you know?
Okay, can I swear? I
mean,
can't.
Let's
This
talk
is
about
like-
this.
Okay.
Oh, last point, I just want to say my favorite sports uniform ever was the Vancouver Grizzlies,
Oh, that's
now
sweet.
defunct.
Yeah.
But they were sick. I bought a Sharif Abdur-Rahim jersey when I was a
sick.
kid. on
Did
vacation.
what was the baby face that played for? Did he play for Vancouver and Memphis?
Big Baby Glenn Davis?
No.
What do you?
Was it Glenn Davis?
Are you saying Babyface?
Yeah, he had a big baby face.
I mean, that's Glenn Big Baby Davis.
Yeah,
Really?
maybe.
Yeah.
I was Sharif Abdur-Rahim. Who else was on that Vancouver Grizzlies team back in the day? Yeah, they were short-lived. They weren't around long. And the Vancouver Canucks. I think Vancouver overall has the best uniforms of any sports market. I really like the Whitecaps have some pretty sick ones with the little
Yeah.
Whitecaps on them.
Oh yeah, that was cool. They actually
Yeah.
had released a really cool clothing line with some of the
Oh, yeah.
stuff going recently.
Yeah, yeah.
Vancouver made a
Probably.
brown kit
I'm a
like
big
5 or
fan of
6 years ago,
Vancouver.
and it was sick.
That is
Oh
tight.
yeah.
Las Vegas Lights dropped 5K in cash from a helicopter. Now that's sick. Okay.
Why?
If you find yourself in a marketing slump, right?
Yeah.
Right, you've gone and created your customized kit with the emoji face on it when you score. You've done something else really, really cool. You run out of ideas, you go to Las Vegas FC for new ones.
Yes.
They are literally doing whatever they want, and it's creating uniquely big splashes and all that they're doing. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
Totally.
It's the most intriguing franchise in North America.
Totally.
I'm happy to say that.
I can't tell you how many they get to a game. I can't tell you who's playing for that team. I can't tell you whether it's.
I can tell you everything about this team. I just made an explainer about them.
I can't. Okay, but I can't tell you. I can't tell you anything about the club or what it stands for or anything. But I can tell you that I've seen them multiple times this year.
Totally.
From a marketing standpoint, they've reached me multiple times without looking.
It was like the llamas thing, and then signing Freddie Adu. And then
weed sponsor.
The weed sponsorship.
Start with the jersey.
The jersey, yeah. No, they've definitely killed it.
DJ
This money.
DJ in the locker room,
Oh, Chalice.
Oh, we have a whole video.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, we have.
Chopper has arrived.
This video.
Cashman, the cash is out. Fat Joe's got nothing on this guy. They're making it rain. Get to the chopper. Dollar bills raining down here.
This is one of those things when you look at it from a distance, you're like, this is really disgusting, human, whatever. But then you're also like, if I was a fan coming to that game and somebody's like, hey, come on. I remember being young, and if somebody called me on the field when I was young, was like, yo, chase this money around. You get free money. I would have been like, this is really fun.
Yeah.
Arthur Blank should do this.
It is like a bit like.
This is an absolute melee for
I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like
tasteless,
dystopian, like just making people run around for money and like. But at the same time, and this is not. I saw someone talking about this on Twitter, but like the waivers these people signed must have been so thick because like these guys just
the guys doing it just so casually
and drop.
You just waive all waivers when you step into one.
I mean, this is
true. Like if there was some sort of malfunction,
at least everybody's keeping their clothes on. That's the
No,
best
but like
part.
it looks like honestly people are having fun, and that's the unique thing of it. If I was at a game like this and somebody's like, "Yo, come on the field," and whether I'm there with friends or family, whatever, that sounds fun to me. I know if you look at it from like a distance, like we are in this video, you're kind of like, this is insanity. It's totally degrading these people.
Is it once?
It's like it's ridiculous that they're dropping money out over and over again. But the people look like they're having fun.
That or they're desperate. They need money.
I know, and everybody's trying to turn this into like a disgusting thing, but like as an entertaining thing, and people are like, oh, you could have just given $5,000 to something that matters and whatever. But like from a pure entertainment level, you're kind of like silly, but kind of if I was there live, I'd be like, all right, kind of cool.
So it's ones, right? Or is it all ones? Or
it has to be. If it's
Have you
that
guys
much.
ever been at a club when somebody makes it rain?
Actually, no.
He's never been at a club.
Yeah, I don't do fun stuff. I chill.
I was in. I remember
laugh.
I was in Fort Lauderdale for MLS preseason. I think I was playing with Chicago at the time, and we went out. Like you had the one night out on preseason where you know it's like 2 weeks of just double days, just hell, just terrible. And you get the one night out and everybody goes insane. So we go to like this like Fort Lauderdale club, and I remember there was a guy on our team who like knew some people there, and he was from Jersey, and he called it like Fort Lottie Dottie. And we went, and these guys started like some high rollers came through and started making it rain. This was like around the time. What was the song? What was the rapper who had the Make It Rain song? Was it Lil Wayne?
Just make it rain, make it rain, make it rain.
Yeah.
Can we get a number crunch on that?
Yeah, I think it was Wayne. And so they're making it rain. And it's one of those odd experiences where you're like, man, that's crazy. That's so wasteful. And then you're like, oh, I'm not making a lot of money right now. You're like, oh, this is like my integrity right here. I kind of want to pick it up right now.
Yeah.
It's a tough spot.
I've got a quick story to tell on that. I'm going to do this in 1 minute. I went to the Hamptons, all right, and it was on Red Bull's dime for the weekend.
Here we go.
And it was an incredible experience. Last weekend of summer, Red Bull's had a few of these spend accounts where they have their product in these bars, clubs, hotels, whatever. And I went up there, and it was this incredible weekend where I didn't spend $1 the whole weekend.
Was that you in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah. You know what that led to? That led to me trying to make it rain in the club one night.
Oh, here we go.
And I got it, and I went and got $50, and this is like not my best moment, and I give it to a few of the other people, and then so we've all say got $20 or $10 each, and we're all kind of whatever, and this Make It Rain song comes on, we were making it rain. Well, the problem was we were doing it as a joke, and I didn't know what the etiquette was of making it rain. I thought we'd just pick it up and put it back in your pocket.
Yeah,
but as soon as it was hitting the ground, the people that were working in the nightclub were literally grabbing it and like running off. And this person came up to me that was in our group and was like, what kind of scumbag are you that like you're basically throwing money on the ground for other people to pick up as tips? Why not just give it to them? And I saw it from a completely different perspective. I was like, oh, I just was kind of thinking this like kind of wild and crazy weekend. I was just going to do this for fun. We just pick it up and be done with it. But when I looked at it from the other side, I was like, I am a giant piece of whatever. And I was like, and I never did it again after that. I look back at it as kind of a funny moment, but when I saw the result of it, that people like grabbing it and like kind of like jumping down to take it and kind of bolting off, I was like, oh, this has a completely different effect than what I thought it was. I thought it was just a fun, like this weekend was an expensive weekend for us. It didn't cost me anything. It was a really fun thing for me and my friends, and I was like, oh, perfect time. That is not going to be in addition to whatever,
You know what?
and I didn't think I was going to lose any of the money.
It could be worse, man. You could have done it from a helicopter.
Yeah, that's true.
The commies were wrong because they really thought that was going to lead to you talking about Thierry Henry.
No, I don't talk about Thierry Henry anymore.
Also, Aaron knew that it was Fat Joe featuring Lil Wayne, Make It Rain.
Of course Aaron knew that. Of course he did.
The Las Vegas Lights, I got to get to a game. I got to go. I got to see this. Not just for financial reasons, but just for life reasons.
Well, that's why I said if I'm at a game with my family or with friends, and I said that because my wife would never let me go to Vegas without them. Mm-hmm. Based on just that video alone, she'd be like, yeah, we're coming too.
Yeah.
Too much entertainment, too much fun.
What they should have done is they should have twisted it and then pulled up with the nothing but coins and started throwing coins down on people. And then it would have been like this horror and everyone would be screaming.
Slot machines. Yeah.
Yeah, that would get you on the
literally
news.
sticking into the ground straight up. That would get the people going.
Yeah. I think we should do a Copa 90 MLS retreat mixer at.
I'm down.
There. Or
That's a good idea.
With a cash drop.
With the cash drop.
I'm down.
Let's talk about some MLS.
All right, Ziggy Schmidt out at the LA Galaxy. Was he pushed out? You think he left? Do you think he knew it was the right time?
Yeah, I mean, I would guess pushed out based on their results, but. I think just because he's an MLS legend, I think far and away the most wins, right? In MLS, no one will ever catch him, I doubt. So I think there was sort of a little bit of just a respect thing to try and let him go on mutual agreement. It's like your girl, your girl breaks up with you and she's like, it's over for you, but you're still a legend in the streets, so she tries to like let you down a little easy, be like, we are conscious uncoupling.
Right. You can't fire me, I quit.
I've been there.
Yeah.
You've been there.
I've been there.
Yeah. I get it.
It hurts.
Do you think DC United are going to make the playoffs? They were last in the East before Rooney debut. 14 games, 11 points. Since then, they've gone 12 games, 20 points.
Yeah.
They've been the best in the East since.
Yeah, I think they get in. I think every MLS team should build a stadium only so they can backlog all their games and go into the playoffs hot like DC has done.
If they miss the playoffs, do they change Ben Olsen?
No. Why not? Why would you?
Because they haven't had any success in like 3 or 4 years, and you say like, okay, we're not spending the
Yeah,
resources.
but if you weren't going to get rid of him before...
Well, that's the whole thing. You give him one good chance under like a proper setup, and then go like, well, we also need results now. Like, we got our stadium, we got our Rooney.
But he's got them playing well. I think just by the way they're playing, the way what is it? Did we say downhill or uphill? What was it?
But 13-14 he had them playing well.
Yeah.
Like, they were a good team. Like, De Leon was one of the best players in the league. You had Chris Pontius. These guys were all good. Dwayne De Rosario was there at the time. Like, they were a good team. They were playing well. He had them playing well. And then they've been nothing consistently for a while.
Yeah.
And you can look at all the distractions and all the things saying like, well, they don't have their stadium and they're building towards that, and that's kind of the rebirth and those types of things. Well, then after the rebirth, how long is that window? Or is he the guy that gets the philosophy of the club, understands the club, and that the results will come, and this is more about rebuilding the community, rebuilding bigger things, and having this like coaching carousel?
Yeah, I think you stick with him. If you stuck with him this long and it's pointing in the right direction, you've got the stadium. They need to kind of cling to some of the history of the club as well. They've lost some of that over time, so he might be able to. He represents a lot of that.
So this is the girlfriend you want to make it work with.
You got to make it work. You know, you've
like
been through a lot.
Sacrifice.
You've been through ups and downs.
Compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Pat, what are the commies saying?
We've got Matt saying the Red Bulls will impale DC at Red Bull Arena.
Okay, that's intense.
Chicago Fire will win the World Cup. Always a common MLS joke. That one's going to live forever.
That never leaves. Chicago Fire, another club that kind of fell apart this year.
And Aaron West said that Kalen's smart because he said conscious uncoupling.
You said conscious uncoupling?
I did, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, not too much. I laugh every time someone talks about.
Why is your energy so bad today?
It's the angle.
Flores to give the other half the Red
We always talked about that when he
is my energy bad?
He leans back against the wall.
No, I'm just trying to do something different. Because also, hey, I don't have a chair. And I'm getting loud? Because I'm mad. I don't have a chair. I get tired.
Get wound up, bud. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
What I was going to say was, I don't even remember.
If that Heath Lasso poster behind you doesn't motivate you.
Yeah, I need a chair. You always ask why I run out of steam.
You don't need a chair. You're good at leaning and moving forward. You're not good at sitting still.
Have you ever been on your legs?
I've done it the whole show.
Yeah, Mike's not complaining. Well, he's got a chair, too.
Have you ever been on your legs?
Who doesn't have a chair?
When Mike was like, for a while, when I was working with Mike every day, he was doing all this gym stuff to be able to go straight, much heavier like camera equipment, and was doing camera-specific workouts so that he could like he could like keep that thing on his shoulder all day long, or use his arms.
Heavy, literally 12-hour day.
I believe it. Yeah.
15 pounds.
Well, I wouldn't say a 12-hour day.
Yeah, through all those
Heath
17
hours because we like to just run everyone into the ground.
Oh, we don't do that here, Mike. That is not true. Whoa! Hey, say duck down. Here come the end zone.
You can leave, Napoleon.
There you go. It's like the quarters coming from the helicopter. Watch this.
Is Chris Pontius still in the league?
Yes, LA Galaxy.
Yeah, he is. I knew that. It's mostly just Aaron yelling at us. He hasn't a chair.
He's really
the entire
living it up in
STFU.
Paris,
Now he's losing energy.
Pat, my chair is your chair. You want it?
Oh, God. The commies want me to get a chair, and they seem to be ready to riot if I don't get one soon.
Fair enough.
Do we have any Paris records?
Nah, actually, I don't want it. I don't want it. I got to keep going. I got to earn my respect.
We only got 5 minutes left.
We got 5 minutes left? Want to do rapid fire?
Let's do it.
Let's do rapid fire. Commies, look at me. Look in these eyes. Let's do some rapid fire.
You guys got 30 seconds to get those rapid fire questions in. If not, we're going to wrap this show up and see you guys next Wednesday,
There's one to
5
start
p.m.
with.
for the greatest show on the history of the internet.
Gold Ronaldo will end up with, says official Dirt TV. We already asked that, but that
goals across all competitions?
Let's do it.
30.
31.
This isn't like. This isn't
The
like.
price is right.
If you say if you say 1, then you probably win. Because we're on the over. And I'm maxed out, so mine's the exact.
So 31.
This is legitimate. Price is right.
32.
Oh man.
I feel that. So somewhere between 30 and 32. Do you like the new method for the Nations League for the road to Euro 2020? I think it's cool that there's a couple extra spots for teams that might.
Well, I've got a lot of feelings about that. One, I think the U.S. I wouldn't like that for the U.S. because I like the idea of being able to constantly work young players in and stuff. But at the same time, I wish there was a lot more games of consequence that you're playing regularly, right? So the idea, if you have a lot of MLS players that aren't playing games of consequence regularly, the more games of consequence they play on the national team would be supplementary to their development. However, traditionally we would then just lean on an older team to get those results because there's consequence, as opposed to right now we're experimenting, we're playing with it, we're more January campy than anything else.
Yeah. We also don't have a coach, so.
I mean, do you need coaches?
Yeah. Men's league, man.
Listen.
They should take an anarchist approach and have the players manage themselves through direct democracy.
I've been
Real trap, man.
I've been in clubs before where the coach would be like, I'm gone for the day, you guys coach yourself, like out of anger. And the players kind of go like, oh, man, that's pretty awesome. And then you kind of realize real quick, like, oh, we do need somebody to actually, like, set up cones and stuff.
Yeah, it's like Matt Flores leading our pickup.
Not set up cones, but you need somebody to have a little bit of, like, direction. There is long-term goal planning that requires coaching. It's kind of like managing a team versus, like, in anything where you're trying to, you've got to be a lot more selfless.
Do you love rapid fire or do you just do what you want?
I didn't know you were into rapid fire.
Oh, rapid fire. Sorry.
Okay, let's go.
I like rapid fire.
We do this every week where we
okay.
self-criticize for not doing it. Here's one for you, Kaylin, from Maddie Flowers. What's the next episode of the movement?
Chester, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sick.
PA, Chester, PA, yeah.
So
that's the season finale, season 3 finale.
Does Chester, PA in 10 years become something, the area become more developed, do you think? The way it was originally kind of as an aspirational goal?
I don't think so in the way that it was promised, and I think that's probably a good thing. We met some really cool people there that are doing some like local community development. So people from Chester making stuff for Chester, and then I think hopefully, the premise of the piece really is that every time I went to Chester for a match, I never actually went into Chester. You just go to the game, right? Mm-hmm. And you drive by and you hear all these bad things about it. So it's like, all right, let's go check it out a little bit. And we met a lot of really cool people there trying to build it up because Chester's been through some rough times. Long before an MLS team was around. So some real problems, but some cool people there trying to do some good stuff. And we went with Warren Craval and Jim Curtin. So that'll be cool. Check it out. Yeah.
That's sick.
But that's cool that people are at Matty Flores did.
Matt Flowers.
People care.
Thank you.
Flowers. Two things on that. One, Warren Corral's clothing line, super sick.
Yes, check it out.
Trying to get a plug on that. So if you know somebody, hook me up. Two, Matty Flowers needs to ask better rapid fire questions because that was a very impossible question. But I'm glad he asked it.
Okay. Yeah. No. We need to talk about the movement because
it's sick.
So let's end on this one because it's not really a rapid fire. Thoughts on Taylor Twellman's rant about the U.S. manager situation. So let's just use this. This is from Chewy, and let's talk about maybe who the next manager should be. And also, I didn't see the rant. So.
I didn't see the rant.
I saw the rant. It wasn't it was on Taylor rant scales. This was like lukewarm. You know, it wasn't even that hot.
Was he saying they need a manager soon or what?
He was saying if you're going to hire an MLS manager, which it sounds like Berhalter is the favorite.
Yeah. Why
are you waiting till after the season? For the national team, you should hire somebody right now. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So I think that was the rant. But I think people want a manager now because we're ready to move forward. So I understand the frustration.
Let's end it on if you could have any manager for the national team, who would it be?
Pep Guardiola.
Carlos de los Cobos.
Okay, never mind. Let's say, that's fine. I was gonna say of realistic candidates.
Carlos de sorry, I blacked that out for a second. Don't you do that, dude? Don't start on this De Los Cobos.
After that episode, there was a guy who changed his account to Carlos de Los Cobos.
I respect that, yeah,
and haunted the show. For
I hope he still has his login.
Yeah.
A realistic coach. I'm actually for a young manager like Greg Berhalter. I like somebody who's got a progressive approach, or a Jesse Marsh even. Somebody that's going to come in with a little bit, they've still got that little bit of that old school kind of mentality, which is part of that last generation of guys, that their generation of Greg Berhalters, of the people that were really, really grinding through soccer, but have this very progressive, data-led, whatever approach to the game. So I think there is some sort of kind of marrying of those two with those guys right now that I would say I just want to see somebody young and progressive, not somebody that's going to come in and just stir the pot or bark loud or revert to saying this is results only, this pound the pavement type, know, or
I agree with that. I like Berhalter a lot too because I think he balances this that mentality, that older mentality, but he also the way his teams play really good football and they pass the ball. He knows how to set up a team. He's got experience in Europe, but understands the American player as well. Yeah. I like him.
Empowers them to take risks, which you don't always want to do with the national team, but if that is the philosophy of which you are then communicating with players throughout their club careers to be more comfortable on the ball, be calm. That's a good pass, but is it the right pass? Play through the lines, those types of things that come with that, but also knowing that because we do that and because Barcelona does that doesn't mean that we're not going to put our foot through someone's face.
And the thing that I think we overlook sometimes in trying to go after a big coach is Berhalter's done a lot with a little. And if you look at the U.S. team in comparison to global football, we're still on that little side, and we need to do a lot. So a manager that's dealt with those types of environments, I think, is and done well, that fits a good profile.
Nice.
Well said.
Nice.
Cool.
Want to hear the commies thing before we go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts? We'll wrap this thing up.
I'll just highlight some. Yeah, Jesse Marsh, Caleb Porter, Peckerman, Peter Vermees. And then, then everyone else probably thinks Gio Savarese.
I like Gio. You can do it.
Gio would win us the World Cup before 2022. And that's impossible, but I believe in him.
Well, cool.
That's
Awesome.
We just hired a manager. There you go.
There it is. We hired all
Congrats.
of them. They are all the new manager. Unlimited budget here. But thank you guys for tuning in as usual. Thank you to Andrew, StatJack, and Michael Hennigan, who doesn't join us often, but when he does, he is great. And of course, Caitlin Carr for coming in and replacing Aaron. Isn't replacing Aaron, was coming in, and just by chance Aaron was not here. And until next Wednesday at 5 p.m., thank you guys for watching. And again, when's the last episode come out?
TBD. You got to follow me on Instagram and Twitter.
Nice. What's your handles?
At CA2 on Instagram and Caitlin Carr at Twitter. But I prefer you follow me on Instagram because I need a little more.
For the brand.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Later. I need them bands. Brothers gotta eat, wanna feed the fam. Gotta be trying to see more green than damn. One of my G said he'll move a box in 1 week. Another said he's been moving boxes all week. Cheese. Can't knock the hustle. Cause they're both getting cheese. And they're both using muscle. But only one's on the street. One man legit for his son. The others trying to shine like one. So I spit 8 like a 9. So neither of them die by one. Trying to get us out of the struggle. Watch, it's a matter of time. Say you wanna burst my bubble. I say as long as